All right, everybody. Welcome to the Glen and Corey Show, episode 4. It's been a while, so good to see you guys again. We're just going to get right into it here. Glen, have you been?
Pretty good, man. I don't think I'm coming up with a cold, but
Likewise.
it's been all right the past 2 weeks.
Cold in this part of the country.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to start off with college football. Florida State. A couple big games this weekend. Most notably was Florida State versus Notre Dame. Are you impressed or not? What do you think about Florida State this season?
First off, that was a really good football game.
Was.
That was definitely the best game this season. One of the best games since last year's national championship.
Right down to the final second.
Oh, yeah, it was incredible. But I, like the rest of the public, I'm not impressed with Florida State. I'm very impressed with Notre Dame. But Florida State, I'm not.
They don't play anybody.
Like you were saying earlier, yeah.
For those of you that don't know, they play in the ACC, which they don't really face anybody. I got their games from last season and this season. A lot of blowouts: 62-7, 54-6, 51-14. Yeah. Had a couple games against ranked teams this season, but
I mean,
wasn't very.
The biggest opponent they would play in the ACC is Clemson.
Clemson, yeah.
And last year Clemson was good with Watkins and Boyd.
Yep.
Which came to a good game, but this year it's just they just lost everything.
And this year they beat Clemson in overtime. Couldn't even get it done.
Okay.
Couldn't even get it done during regular time.
But yeah, no, they don't play anybody.
So should they be ranked number 2?
No. I guess we go talk about that. No, we'll talk about the Final Four. But no, they shouldn't. Just haven't impressed anybody. The only reason they're ranked number 1 is due to a preseason ranking from last season, which they did go undefeated to win the title, which they deserved. But,
which was a good. I mean, good on them. They played well against Auburn.
Like I had the stats of the game. Notre Dame had 8 more first downs than them. They had 150 more yards than them.
They played the better game.
Yeah. And the biggest stat to me is the biggest measurement in football to me is how you play in the trenches, which is O-line and D-line. And Notre Dame dominated both sides. Notre Dame averaged almost 5 yards a carry, and Florida State averaged just under 2 yards a carry that whole game. And they're supposed to be the best team in the country.
So what did it for them?
And they were home.
But what was it?
That's a good question, man. They still had great skill positions, I guess.
I heard
the last play of the game, that pick play, that I agree with the call, but
I heard it was the refs. I heard some opinions say that the referees basically gave that game away to Notre Dame, which I didn't watch it that closely. I saw the call at the end there. For me, I don't know.
That's a good
either way.
Winston, I watched the whole game. Winston's incredible.
He's incredible.
He's incredible. He kept Notre Dame blitzed a lot the whole game. Very, very heavy in the blitz, and Winston could see it and would get the ball out quick. Notre Dame got beat. Yeah, he's really good at that. They made some big plays, but I guess it came down to that. If that ref doesn't see that play, Notre Dame wins that. Notre Dame's ranked number 1 in the country.
I think they deserve that too. I think they should deserve that win.
But yeah, I'm not impressed. You're not impressed. The general public, I don't think is impressed.
So if the season ended today, right this second, who is in the Final Four?
For
First
me,
season college football playoffs,
which is cool. But me, number 1 in the country, Mississippi State.
Without question.
Yeah. They were idle this week. They didn't play. Then I have Ole Miss, the other Mississippi team. Who actually, it's going to be interesting because they're in-state rivals every single season. They play each other last game of the season.
It's going to be,
so one of them's going to be number 1 in the country. And one's probably going to be,
at least
especially if they both on the table up to that game. That's going to be really cool. And then I have Bama, who I don't know if you saw over the weekend. They beat Texas A&M, who was also a great team. 59. I watched the whole game. I don't know why I watched the whole game, but it was 59-0. Bama's
in awe, really.
If Bama can run the ball, they're the best team in the country.
Absolutely.
I think that. And then I have, shockingly, I have Notre Dame as my 4th team.
So like we said, not even in the top 5.
They're probably not in the top 4. They don't deserve it. Like I said, they're there because the preseason ranking. But I have Notre Dame. Notre Dame just was the better team. Like we just said, like the stats show, they're the better team. They play better teams. They have a much harder schedule. They go to USC later this year, and they have another big game. I can't think of the top of my head right now, but they look like a top 4 team. I think Golson is incredible.
Yeah, I would have mine as Mississippi State number 1, probably Alabama number 2.
Yep, can't go
Ole Miss number 3. I'll probably put Notre Dame number 4. I'm not impressed with
Auburn's right there too.
But the thing is, you can't take away the fact that Florida State probably will be in that final game of the season, just because
the hardest game left, I think, is they play Florida every year, but Florida's bad, so it's not even a hard game.
They've they've been showing. It's you can't really argue the fact that they're the national champion. So
that's true.
You got to put them in there. But I see Notre Dame as a stronger team.
It'll be interesting though. If Florida State is in, I'm okay with that because we'll see them against good competition.
It would be a good matchup too.
Now if they beat Bama and then they win the national championship game, then they deserve it. But right now they just don't look it.
Their last game came down to one play. So
and the stats show it should have been the other way, but.
Well, let's move forward. NFL, good games this weekend. Pretty good matchups. Peyton Manning set the record for most TD passes by a quarterback of all time. Is he the greatest quarterback of all time?
He is. We talked about this earlier. He's the greatest regular season quarterback of all time, but you have to count on the playoffs. In my opinion, he's not
because he doesn't win.
He doesn't win the games that matter.
And rings come into play in that conversation.
Yeah. Like we talked earlier, Brady has 3, Manning has 1. Manning's 1 and 2 in Super Bowls.
But what you said, which was a really good point, was he's the smartest player to play football of all time, and I agree with that. That's a really good point.
They were talking about, I don't know if you watched last night when he threw it. He got right after he celebrated, of course. He got right back on the side. Yeah, he got right back on the sideline and whipped out the iPad with his coach and was getting ready for the next drive. He's just totally business, wants to win, which is good. But if he wins Super Bowl this year and breaking the record, I think
all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's right there. It's him, Brady, Montana, I think.
For sure. No, and I heard that too. After the game, he was just ready to plan for next game. It wasn't really about celebrating. He just wanted to thank his teammates and just say.
They were saying it's like the first time he smiled on a football field in a long time.
And I was funny watching him trying to get the ball back, and his teammates were passing it over him. We're here in the Washington, D.C. area, so we're going to talk some Redskins. Colt McCoy coming in, benching Kirk Cousins. Not really a shocker there. Has been playing well. Doesn't really deserve to be the starting quarterback, in my opinion. I'd surprised he was in that long, if you ask me. I was at the game yesterday. You could see when Colt stepped on the field, the buzz around the stadium just kind of came out of nowhere.
They won it, yeah.
The stadium began to empty out a little bit. Maybe people taking a little longer in the bathrooms, getting food. As soon as they started hearing Colt McCoy was in, the stadium just kind of filled back up.
That's really neat.
It was really neat to see because they made no announcement of it and just showed his back on the Megatron, on the big screen. And everyone was like, wait, is that Colt McCoy? It's Colt McCoy, Colt McCoy. And the crowd just began to roar. I think
he threw a
first pass of the game, 70 yards. Pierre Garcon really burned that secondary. I mean, that wasn't
fantasy points for me, to be honest.
It wasn't really because it was a great throw or a good run.
Garcon made a good play. And that safety took a bad angle last week.
That safety was slow as all hell.
And Garcon's fast, but he's not that fast.
He is and I just saw that safety coming around the corner. I was like, he's not going to catch it. And sure enough, Garcon
just cool play.
Down the line. And good for him. Colt McCoy deserved it. And I love to see after that play, Colt McCoy run to Pierre Garcon, jump up on his shoulders, give him a smack on the helmet, say like, awesome, let's go. He's a spark. And that's exactly what the Redskins
exactly what we need. Because like we said earlier, the season's over. It was over when it started. But McCoy, like you said, it'll give a spark. It'll put more butts in the seats as it did at half. And we won. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool. I mean, we're not a great team. No. So and we're very excited. Well, I was excited that we won. I think Colt McCoy did a good job.
And he got named starter today. I don't know if you saw.
I saw that. He's getting, and he deserves it.
I mean, Cousins sure as heck doesn't deserve it.
The big turning point for me, which just made me say take Cousins out of the game, was when we got the pick. First down after Cousins received the ball. Defense won it back for us. We got the ball back. First play, Cousins throws an interception. Again, right back to him. I don't know.
I also heard I read on Twitter, I forget what reporter it was, he was showing really bad, what's the word I'm looking for? Posture, not posture, but he was just like on the sideline, he was just looked so down.
Disinterested.
If Manning or any good quarterback, my bad guys, I'll get us. Let's go.
He looked down on himself out there also.
I mean, and you can't, and that's why Gruden pulled him. Don't get me wrong, there's no picks too, but I mean, we need a spark, like you said. And
Colt McCoy
definitely.
He acted as that spark. I think he did a great job.
He's got the talent. He's got the arm, man.
I think Washington. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And RG3 is coming back. I guess he starts practice tomorrow. They said he comes back.
He did some running last week, but he'll probably start again in a couple of weeks.
Said his ankle and his arm look strong. So we'll see.
That's good.
Seattle. What's going on in Seattle?
It's a great question. Well, they got rid of Harvin, as we all know.
Yeah, I heard he was kind of a bust up in the
that's what I was so shocked to hear that. I originally thought, actually tweeted and stuff. I was like, well, they're getting rid of Harvin. Well, this is because he's not really producing statistically.
Which he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't. He's only played in, I guess the only game he played in last year was the Super Bowl, which he did help big time. But they're trying to save money for Wilson to sign, and they want to sign Lynch again because it's going to be really hard for them to sign Lynch, who's their great running back.
Somewhere, yeah.
Exactly. But then they came out and said that he's really just he's a jerk in the locker room.
Which was shocking.
Like, I've read an article that pregame they're on the field at the Super Bowl, and he punched Golden Tate, one of their other old receivers who just signed with the Broncos. He punched him in the face.
Why?
Pregame, they never got along. I read an article on it.
Can't have that on a team that's favored to win the Super Bowl, or at one point was. And I'm not sure if they are now.
But they did give up 3. No, not anymore. It's true. But they gave up 3 picks for him. They won a Super Bowl. I think they'll take that, and they got a pick back. So.
Yeah, and the Jets can definitely use him.
Oh, and not to go over, but did you hear what else the Seahawks asked to trade for? Proposed. They asked
Harvin to
no, to the Broncos and then the Browns. And some other teams.
Really?
Julius Thomas is the Browns tight end. He's the best tight end in the NFL, I guess now.
Also in terms of fantasy points.
Yeah, they offered to trade him straight up
for Harvin.
The Seahawks did. The Broncos declined.
Of course.
And then the Browns had this because the Seahawks are weak at tight end, and they proposed to the Browns. They have a young tight end, Jordan Cameron, who's great. They proposed for him too, and they declined as well. So I guess they go, let's see if we can get Thomas, see if we can get Cameron. Not, let's get a 6th-round pick. I don't get it, but hey.
Maybe they just really wanted to unload him. That's what
exactly.
It seemed like.
That's what it was. Locker room T.O., man. You can't have it.
So let's move on to Premier League here.
All right.
Pretty good games on the weekend. My beloved Arsenal is just not looking hot. So they tied Hull City this weekend 2-2.
87-minute goal, which is cool.
Which is cool from Welbeck. Looks good. Welb's that guy, as we like to say. Right now, Arsenal's sitting in 7th place in the table, which is just...
West Ham and Southampton will fall.
West Ham and Southampton are 3 and 4. Man City and Chelsea are first in the table, 22 points. Man City's in second on 17. I don't think anybody catches Chelsea. Arsenal, this is their 2nd worst start since Arsene Wenger's been in charge.
What's the record exactly?
We have 2 wins, 5 draws, and 1 loss.
Wow. Okay. Got to be leading the Premier League in draws. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually, we are leading the Premier League in draws, and that's what I bring from that point. Arsenal have been dropping points, which is just, it's not going to get you to that top 4 spot.
You got to stop. Yeah.
I mean, defensively, we're shaky. Our defensive mids, Arteta and Flamini are just not doing it.
We have too many injuries, man.
Yeah, too many injuries. I mean, we've always kind of had that, but we really have no depth.
Like we were talking earlier, I think it's going to be a miracle if we get top 4. I believe that.
Yeah, I don't know,
especially with the injuries.
I don't know if we make the top 4 spot, and I'm always one to say that we're going to.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's big for me to say that in front of you.
It sucks. It sucks because I don't know. Man United is kind of on the up and up, on the way. They
just drew today. They just drew right before the show started.
Yeah, I think they played West Brom today. Liverpool looking shaky, but I don't know, man.
What a game that was! I actually saw the end of that game.
If we can't turn it around, I don't think we make the Champions League spot.
And I've been reading those articles on Facebook. I guess Ozil's done here.
Yeah,
they say Ozil's gone. He wants out.
They say he wants out, maybe to Bayern. But you never know. I mean,
and it's also looking like Khedira wants to come here, and
that's been a deal on the table for a while. I don't know. I think I'll be honest with you. If Bayern came to me today, and let's say I'm in charge of Arsenal, £50 million for Ozil, I'd take it. I'd take it. £40 million, I'd take it.
If all of our midfielders are healthy, I think we're okay there.
Yeah.
Midfield's pretty good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we got Cazorla.
And Ox looks good.
Ox looks good. The thing is, I don't know. I just think Ozil's just not been performing.
He hasn't played well since he's been with Arsenal. Really.
Now, you're right. He's had about 2 games where he's played really well.
Yeah, that's not worth the money he's been paid. That's high. He's the highest paid Arsenal player ever.
Yeah, he doesn't have a really good work rate. And it's just frustrating to see him like that. Now, granted, he has not been playing in his favorite position, like we talked about before on previous shows, and it's just in every day. But if he does continue to play the way he's playing, when he's put in that number 10 role that he likes to sit at, I say we unload him and just cut our losses.
He's not even going to be healthy by the time
I know
the window opens in like January, right?
Yeah. So who does Arsenal bring in? They need a center defensive mid and a center back. Khedira. Does Khedira come in January? I don't know.
What about Hummels?
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard we're looking at Matt Hummels.
2 German guys.
Yeah. Man, Mertesacker and Hummels would be a dream center back pair.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it happens. I know we're not the only European club that's been going after him, and this is not the first.
Yeah,
year.
Man U too.
Man United. I mean, there's basically, the top 10 teams in Europe are all going for Hummels, and Dortmund wants to keep him. He's a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great defender. All right. Hopefully Arsenal gets it going here. I don't know.
Who do we have this week? Arsenal, brother.
Oh man, I don't know off the top of my head. Arsenal have Arsenal schedule. I don't know. I want to say we have someone. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. I want to say we have someone. No, Anderlecht for his Champions League. Now, who do we have on the weekend? We have
Tottenham?
Sunderland. So I don't know.
I think just went 8-0 this weekend.
No, Southampton beat them 8-0,
okay, cool.
which is a pretty interesting game.
Cool.
And Aguero got 4 goals against.
Too, man. What a stud!
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. All right, moving forward here. Kobe Bryant is ranked 40th by ESPN rankings.
Yeah.
Now he came out and said, "I've known they've been a bunch of idiots for a long time now."
Is that right?
That's what Kobe says.
Yeah,
What does Glen say?
I don't think he's the 40th best player in the NBA.
You think he's lower than that?
I think yes.
You think so? There's clearly 39 other players better.
Yes,
than him.
yes.
Okay.
Like I said, I have a list here that I made before the show.
Let's hear some.
In no particular order, but
well,
like
in your order, let's say there's a top 10.
A top 10.
Let's say
top 10s.
Name from 39 to 34.
Oh wow, dude! I can't do that far. I can go 1 through 10. Like this is just like I said, this is no particular order. I just wanted to have a number next one so I knew my final number. But
so you definitely, I don't know. See
productivity. I know we're going off the last 2 seasons. Kobe's been injured. Right. Now the average fan has to realize Kobe's not prime time Kobe. He's not. Now look, Kobe can put I had a conversation with my father the other day. And Kobe can put up 28 points in a game. He's Kobe. He can score. But he's going to take 25 shots to do that. Durant puts up 20. Yes, it's a fact. It's a fact. He does. Durant puts up 28 points in 13 shots. That's how that.
But you're comparing. That's like comparing Jordan with the Wizards versus Kobe with the Lakers.
Okay, well, anybody
you can't compare Durant.
Right? Now look, and
you can't compare Durant in his prime right now as the best player in the league to Kobe, 36 years old.
But I can because Kobe's been currently ranked at 40th when he's 36. So I have to compare him to that.
Yeah, but Durant was probably going to get the #1 spot. So even if Kobe, let's say a Lakers fan would put Kobe at maybe 19, 20, 27, somewhere in that area, right? They're still not going to compare Kobe right now to Kevin Durant. So you can't say Kevin Durant
I'll compare him. The 40th player and the 41st player. I don't know which. It doesn't matter. Well, Kobe was 40.
Yeah, Kobe was 40.
Well, Andre Iguodala was 39.
39, I saw that, yeah.
He's definitely more productive than Kobe. I'll take him. Every GM in basketball will take Andre over Kobe on the court. Now, marketing's different because Kobe will make you more money with fans. But on the court,
you're talking about just play.
Yeah, I'm talking court. The thing is, we're talking right now because the rankings are right now. If we're ranking this 8 years ago, Kobe's won.
Of course.
I mean, so that's what the fans have to understand. Kobe's ranked 40 because we're talking now. Now 40, 41, Kobe's 40. 41 was Kenneth Faried. Kenneth Faried is one of the most productive players in the NBA.
See, and I was reading up on some of the lists just as I was kind of reading over the story, and the 39 players before him, some of these guys I've never even heard of.
Well, you don't follow it as heavy,
but I do follow it enough to know that some of these players in there.
Klay Thompson was 38.
Yeah, Klay Thompson was 38.
Everybody will take Klay over, and Ty Lawson was 42. Ty Lawson was the point guard for the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. He averages great numbers. But I think it's a no-brainer. I'm one of the few that thinks that.
Well, I don't know if you're the few that thinks that. I think it's.
I haven't heard anybody else that believes it, except for my father.
What does he say?
Oh, he says no doubt.
He's done.
He completely agrees with me.
So you think he's done?
Yeah. Oh, and also my dad. I heard this as well. Reading up on Yahoo the other day. I forget. I tried to look up the article again today, but I couldn't find it. One of the Lakers reporters was at practice the other day. And one of the Lakers reporter. I wish I could look this up to provide proof. But he said the reporter himself said Kobe is useless.
Really?
He said Kobe will average his 28, 25, but he'll shoot the ball 30 times. That's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Now, is it because he's had 2 seasons off?
Yes, yeah, and he just doesn't have it. And Kobe's mindset, of course, he has to think he still has it. He just can't. He's not as fast. He can't jump as high. He'll always have that shot. That shot's gonna fall, but he's not gonna be able to get by his man. And which is sad. I'm not a Kobe hater at all. I'm a huge Kobe fan. I grew up wearing number 8, but I want Kobe to succeed. But that Lakers team is going nowhere till he's done.
Do they make the playoffs?
No,
until they cut their losses.
Yeah. That West, unless Julius Randle goes off, which I think is going to be great. He's the rookie, but and they have a lot of injuries. Nick Young's injured. I heard today. Xavier Henry's injured. They got Jeremy Lin, but it's Jeremy Lin. He's an average guard. That West is now. If they were in the East, they'd make the playoffs. Probably. But the West is just absolutely loaded.
Yeah, they're going to drown in the West.
That'd be cool. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Kobe comes out and has a legitimate All-Star season. That'd be so cool. That would so much towards him and looks so good for him, but I just don't see it.
Now, interesting. Now, we're on the live stream, so we see some comments here. A buddy of mine, Josh, big Liverpool fan. Mm-hmm. Will Liverpool make the top 4? We're gonna go back.
No, that's cool. That's totally fine,
we like to interact with our
yeah.
viewers here. If you're watching now and you have some comments, please, we can see them. So jump right in. Josh Patterson. Hello, Josh from Bowie here. First-time commenter. Long-time admirer of Corey. Well, thank you. Will Liverpool make top 4? What do you think?
I watched them. I guess it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning against QPR. I think they're in the same kind of. I don't follow as much as you or maybe Josh either, but from what I see in the rosters that I know of, they got some. I guess I got a couple new players, and especially Balotelli. That might take some time, but I think it's the same situation as Man U. Give it a couple more weeks, maybe. I don't know how much more the season is. I'm sure it's a lot, but I think they do eventually.
Something I was watching before we came on, was I was watching Arsenal Fan TV live, and they were talking about our problems, and I can kind of draw this comparison to Liverpool's problems. We have not replaced the players we've sold. And now for Liverpool's standpoint, that is Suarez. You're not going to replace Suarez with Sturridge. And Sterling looks great, but, I mean, you're not replacing Suarez. Same with us we've never replaced hardly any of the players we've sold. Nasri, when he was with us, great player. They'd replace him. We've signed the likes of Fabregas. I mean, still. Alexander Song, when he left, that defensive mid, that strong defensive mid, has not been replaced. From Van Persie.
VP, yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Was not replaced. He's not. The signing the likes of Bentner, Shamak. I mean, this was all while Van Persie was still there, but these are the quality of players Wenger is known for signing, which is just, it's not productive. It's not helping us. Does Liverpool make the top 4? I say they do.
So do I.
I say they do.
Because I don't think we're there.
Now the tough thing is who's that number 3 slot? Chelsea and Man City are going to wrap up number 1 and 2. That number 3 slot is open, and the likes of Manchester United and Arsenal are the 2 going for it.
There's 5 fighting. I think there's 5 fighting for 4.
Totally.
Everton doesn't look like they have it, so I think they're kind of bad.
Everton doesn't, which is surprising, but it's only 8 games in the season.
Yeah.
It's only 8 games in. It's really tough to see.
There's 5 or 6 teams fighting for those 4 spots.
Tottenham, I don't think is in.
Yes, I'm not.
Tottenham is going to be outside. Tottenham, probably UEFA, probably European football for them next season, but I don't think they make it in the top 4. That number 3 slot, it's really 2 teams for that number 3 slot. It's really going to be down to Manchester United and Arsenal. I don't see Arsenal really getting through. But it all really depends on what Manchester United does and what the other teams do. Does Arsenal continue to drop points? Do they sign a defensive mid?
Yeah, and that transfer window is going to be huge for
us. They sign a defensive mid in the transfer window? Do we sign a center back?
There's a couple more comments here.
Yeah, we got some more comments here. We'll welcomely answer them. In anticipation, this is from Josh again. Thank you for being so active. In anticipation of the Seattle topic, if you could punch one NFL player in the face with no repercussions, who would it be? And why is it Richard Sherman?
We should have read that before we read that out loud. But
no, that's funny. So why is it so you think it's Richard Sherman, Josh? That's a pretty good question. Who do you think?
Why would I punch in the face?
With no repercussions.
Let's see. I gotta think about this. Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Now why? Just because of the way he looks.
Yeah. Make him look dumber.
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, so Joe Flacco. Let me think. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I guess I go with Flacco. I haven't thought about it enough.
It'd probably be a Redskins player for me, honestly, and I'm a Redskins fan.
No, that's fine.
Probably would be a
Punch a
Redskins player.
Rack. Rakpo's out for the season.
Probably
now.
a Rakpo. Maybe
Useless.
Kirk Cousins, honestly. Maybe Kirk Cousins. Especially when I was at the game yesterday, I wanted to jump down and punch him in the face.
I wish you could punch an owner. I'd hit Dan
Punch an
Snyder
owner in
pretty
the
hard.
face.
I'd hit Dan Snyder pretty hard.
Great question, Josh.
And that's a good question.
We have another question here. Based on Kobe's stats this season, where do you see his career 2 seasons from now? Retired. ESPN
What do you mean
analyst.
by? Well, I guess
2 seasons from now, based on where he is, his stats this coming season. Let's say he goes, like you said, 28 points a game, 30 shots taken.
2 seasons from now,
I say he's retired.
well, Colt only has a contract through next season. Yeah, he's done.
I say he's an ESPN analyst.
No, I think he takes time off.
You do?
Yeah, I think he just doesn't do anything.
Lakers front office or?
No, he'll just go on vacation for a year or something, But no, I could see him ending up on ESPN. But I see him in this aspect. Him and Tiger Woods are in the same aspect, at the fact that they're so competitive. Neither of them will ever want to retire from their respective sports
until they see
because
themselves
they think
playing the way they're playing.
Yeah, that's true. Kobe's gonna have to see him for a full 82 game season.
Mm-hmm.
If he's averaging less than 20, he's gonna have to be like,
When
wow,
is the
maybe I
contract end?
don't. He just last season he signed a 2-year, 27 mil.
Okay.
So I guess this season he has next season, and I think, like I said, it'd be really cool if he didn't. But I think after that 2-year span, he'll prove to himself that he doesn't have it, and I think he retires with you.
Well, let's talk on one more thing. World Series. I haven't really been catching up with that much. I watched the Orioles series, the National Series. Based on the looks of both teams, I would say the Royals got it.
Me too.
Kind of taken off subject, but I kind of see the Royals taking that series.
Yeah, we know baseball subject's most boring for people, most listeners, but
right.
The Giants and the Cardinals. It's crazy. They're in the NLCS. Oh, for the past 5 seasons,
Yeah.
at least one of them has been in the NLCS. They just know how to win in the postseason.
They do.
What's really cool is both these teams were the wild card team. They won that one single game and got in. Which is so neat. But what I'm looking at, the biggest aspect, or not aspect, I guess the biggest, whatever, the most important part of this World Series, is the KC bullpen. They're unhittable right now. Wade Davis, Holland, and not Herrera.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, if San Francisco can have that lead going into that 6th inning or earlier, they're good.
The Royals
if KC has a tie or the lead, especially the lead, that game's probably over.
They just close games out.
They're incredible. They're unhittable right now. I don't like to believe that now. Herrera's got a chance to become a little wild and be hittable. And now if they walk people, it's different. Because in the O's, they walked, I think, the 7th, 8th, and 9th, or maybe just 8th, 9th. We had a man on base.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 9th inning there, when we were down a run, Adam Jones got walked. We had a man on first and outs, and they still got out of it.
Yeah.
So there's a chance they put him on base. But I'm going to go with you. And I also want KC to win it just because it's been since 85, which is just cool for the sport.
And I'm just one of those guys that I really don't mind seeing the team that takes out my team.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you kind of
especially if
more.
It's a working class team, real blue collar.
Nobody really knows any of the players. They don't have a superstar.
Yeah.
Giants have Posey, Bumgarner, Panda.
Yeah.
Now
that's my question is, are the Royals unhittable when you're facing the San Francisco Giants?
That's a good question.
San Francisco Giants can hit the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Ishikawa had that home. He's their 8th or 9th hitter.
Kind of out of nowhere too.
Yeah,
he was kind of an unknown player.
That, but that's what my point earlier is. They just know how to play in the postseason. It's scary. Now we're gonna find out. Now I don't think it's gonna be a sweep.
I don't think it's gonna.
It'll go 6 or 7.
I think it's gonna go 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, I hope it does. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think the Royals. I mean, I think it goes. I'll go Royals 4, Giants 3. I'll go 7.
Okay,
something
I like that.
That'd be really cool for the sport.
I would probably put it the exact same.
Yeah,
I would probably 7 games, Royals taking in the end.
I think it'd be really cool for the sport.
We got some more comments here. We can touch on one last thing. Are you guys looking forward to the 2015 Women's World Cup? Kind of out of the blue, I would tell you that I am.
Yeah. Cool.
I think that FIFA really needs to get their crap together and make sure these girls are not playing on turf fields. They're injuring themselves.
Yeah, Morgan just got injured over the weekend, right?
They're banging up their knees. They're getting scraped up. I think they need to really get it together here before the World Cup takes place.
But yeah, I guess to answer that question, I'm looking for. I remember I watched all of last Women's World Cup.
It's interesting. It's competitive.
At least all the women are the USA games.
Yep.
I mean, Wambach is incredible.
Yep, and she still got it.
She's got the best header in the world.
I think USA is a favorite, and that's no doubt.
Brazil will be there too.
I really think England will. I've been watching a lot of Arsenal ladies, Manchester City ladies, Chelsea ladies games, and those girls are good, and mostly all English. Not a lot of foreign-born players in the lineup. So I think I don't know. Maybe if they play like England men's team, they'll flop and come short. But so that's it for us, guys. Really great interacting with everybody today. Thanks for watching. I think that we had a good show.
Oh yeah, it was nice.
If you have anything else you'd like us to talk about, please comment below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We're gonna be doing some videos in between the weeks now, just to kind of cover some things that happen as they happen. Sorry for the delay that we've been gone so long, but thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.